There is a very big Xenogears reference.
I have that written down, John. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So did that come from, I don't want to spoil this moment fully, but did that come from like the practicalities of production of like, we cannot afford to this level. Yeah. What do we do? Let's do the thing Xenogears did where they just told you about this amazing moment that you can't see.
That was literally what happened. We actually reached out to Square Enix and we were like, hey, we want to do this sort of homage to Xenogears. To us, it wasn't like mocking. It was kind of, that's very like, it's almost like a famous part of how like the sort of the transition happens in that game.
Right.
And to us, the game is almost, it has a lot of almost meta humor about like the corporate environment, and even the whole R&D stage is like a mocking of development of video games in some way.
Yes.
So we kind of like embrace the fact of like, if we're not going to put this in, let's cover it up with like an interesting way, instead of trying to like pretend like be really serious and be like, hide it. It's like, no, let's do that. I think there's also a scene where you don't fight a boss, and then one of the characters will, if you talk to them, will actively say like, wow, it really looked like you were going to fight that boss. Like,
right.
I just feel really bad for the modeler who spent a lot of time working on that.
But you know what? When you have the tone of that game, it's like, well, everything just makes it more fun. I don't think people feel cheated. But just, okay, to be clear, what did Square say about the Xenogears stuff?
I mean, I don't want to like, it's not a negative thing by any means, but I think we want to do something. We want to have an homage to Xenogears because we're big fans here, and we showed them that scene, and they were like, and it was like, that's it. Like, it was
they thought you're gonna have the whole thing. Faye was gonna be.
I think they were thinking like we're gonna have these like like maybe like we're gonna like recreate like the gears or something like that.
Right,
I was like,
right.
It's just he's gonna sit in the chair. And he's going to talk about what he's doing, like this scene. And
even the lawyers are like, what are you worried about, dude? Like, this is fine.
Yeah, they're like, do you want to use the music? And I was like, no. It's just like, we want to just kind of do that. And so I think they were a little confused, but, we didn't want them to take it the wrong way. So we were like, this is like, we're just huge fans. And a lot of people on the team were fans. So they like went down the smallest details about like the moving of the iPod is like the spinning of it and everything like that. And the only thing we couldn't get in was we wanted the text to come in like really slowly when they were speaking.
That's confusing. That's homage gone too far.
It was voiced, so it was tricky. So we could do that. But
do you have any interest? And I know there's a lot to unpack here already, but so I hate to be like, what's next? But do you have any interest like for DLC of like filling in that missing chapter, or do you think like the joke stands on its own, moving on?
Yeah, I don't know. I think the show stands on its own there.
I agree. You're fine.
We're still kind of, we're processing. Obviously, we just released it, so we're still kind of like processing what's going on. So we're still thinking of things, but nothing to announce yet in that case. Sure. I'd like to think that, what we did in the package, like we took in stride. So, in a way, it's a complete package.
It is. It totally is. If you thought, hey, this video wasn't bad, well, there's a whole lot more like it on MinnMax's YouTube channel. Please help us out by subscribing to our channel and checking out the MinnMax Show podcast, also available on your favorite podcast app, the best, most thorough discussion about games on the internet with the deepest dive, our monthly community trivia show with prizes called Trivia Tower, and a whole lot more. Thanks so much for your support, everybody. All you gotta do is click that subscribe button. We'd really appreciate it.